Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Basically, it's not often that we get people from around the world seated together and the opportunity to be able to talk to them and to hear from them. We have Shaykh Zahir Mahmood to my right from As-Suffa Institute in Birmingham in the UK. He's done a lot of great work, including here in South Africa, and so much more. Subhanallah, Dr. Muhammed Salah, based between the US and Egypt, and mashallah, a tremendous work. Al-Huda, Qanat Al-Huda, the Huda TV channel. And Dr. Muhammad does Hajj and Umrah and so many more things, mashallah, tabarakallah. And we have brother Ahmad. How do you pronounce your surname, Habibi?
Hraichie.
Can you say it on the microphone?
Hraichie.
Hraichie. I come from an area called Harari. Habibi, mashallah. So if you come from Harari and you have tea with elachi, I think they would call it Hraichie. Yeah? Mashallah. Habibna. But how's your experience here in South Africa? Is it your first time?
First time in South Africa. SubhanAllah, it reminds me of Australia. Very laid back, brotherhood. You drive on the right side, like us. So I feel
Do you mean the other guys drive on the wrong side?
That's exactly right.
La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah.
So experience has been beautiful, mashallah. I've only seen brotherhood, I've seen love, I've seen a community that's thirsty for knowledge. And that's what we love. We love to see people that are always looking to learn, and whatever knowledge Allah has given us, we love spreading it. And I know a lot of you watch the social media, and I'm so blown away how many people know me. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all and reward you, inshallah.
Wallahi, brother Ahmad Hraichie is an amazing guy. So now I know how to pronounce your surname, even more amazing. And I can tell you something, we visited Cape Town for the first time, and he had was it like a workshop or a visit to the graveyard, right?
SubhanAllah, we had a visit to the cemetery and to the washing facility in Mulberry Cemetery. And you know, I didn't want to leave. I love being in the cemetery. And inshallah, I'll love it more when I'm dead. But at the moment, I love it because it's, like I said in the talk, it's reality. And I love engaging with the people there because truthful talk comes out of there. Honesty comes out of there.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. You know, when I first saw you online, and they said Aussie Mammoth, and then they said Undertaker, I'm thinking, well, Aussie Mammoth or Undertaker? And I saw the videos, and I'm thinking, this brother is involved in enshrouding and burying, and you know, the dead and those who pass away. And it's something that he's known for throughout the globe. Look at social media and how it is. May Allah bless you and your work, and may Allah inspire many of our young boys and girls, male and female, to actually take up the role of helping when it comes to the ghusl, you know, the washing and the enshrouding and so on of the mayyat and the deceased. Ameen. Dr. Muhammad Salah, every time you visit Johannesburg, I think they put you up at Qurtuba. Am I right?
You're absolutely right.
And the first time you came here, I remember you telling me, oh, it's a wonderful place. Tell us about it.
It's still a wonderful place.
MashaAllah, it has to be. Maybe it's even more wonderful.
It's really amazing place. This morning I took my wife for a walk. She loved it. So many times when people ask me, if you would like to relocate and live somewhere, I would right away say Malaysia. Every time. I think I'm reconsidering that.
Allahu Akbar.
Wallahi.
Before you say that, how many of you are considering leaving South Africa? Look at that, Shaykhna. Look at this. Now, okay, put your hands down. Shaykhna, I'm sure they'll give you their homes and their houses. You'll have maybe 10, 20 houses.
Habibi, you know, I know you're going to keep asking questions. I have a question for you.
Yes.
When I met you on my Way for My Life show a couple of hours ago, I told you smell so good. And when I hugged you again right now, you smell the same. And I said, MashaAllah, I maintain the same smell. You got to tell me the secret.
Look, two things. My father named me Ismail. So I can either say Ismail, I smile a lot. Or I can either say Ismail, which means I smell good. Or I can say Ismail. Well, Allah bless all Ismails. Let me tell you something about Ismail. They say...
No, before Ismail, the smell.
I'm trying to run away from it.
You got to tell me.
Okay.
I know it, but you got to share with us.
Okay, so basically, it's an Arab tradition whereby when you would like to perfume your clothes, you turn on the bakhur. So you light a little coal.
The incense.
Yes, not incense per se, but it's a type of incense, yes. It's like wood that has a smell to it, right?
And it's called oud.
You light a coal and wait until it gets red hot. When it gets red hot, you put onto it a few pieces of this bakhur, depending on the quality of it. And then let me show you what you're going to do.
This is what I actually want.
You lift up your thawb, you put it in the center there, and you put it down. And you stand, you just make sure you don't burn yourself. Once I burnt myself, you stand there and you wait for it to actually come out of your head. When you see it coming out of your ghutra here at the top. Your thobe is smelling, your undergarments are smelling good. You know, smelling in South Africa could mean this way or that way. But this, the shimar, the thobe, and then you stand for a little while. Before you begin to feel the heat, you actually lift it up again. Lift it up again, and then you're done.
And the beard mechanism.
And the beard. So you normally bakhurify the beard. I just coined that word. But you can actually put the bakhur. And normally what they do when you're wearing a scarf, you can shut your face so your nose is out, you can breathe, and the rest of the bakhur is like where this microphone is there, you see? And it actually sets into your beard and your clothes.
The following question, is your wife okay with that?
Allah.
Because my wife isn't. She cannot tolerate oud. So the only time I wear oud is when I'm leaving home. And I must stay outside for several hours.
All the oud that anyone has given you in your life, pass it my way. Thanks to your wife. Wallahi, I must really thank her. Inshallah khair.
Barakallahu feek. Now you can ask.
Okay. So, Shaykh Zahir Mahmood, tell us about your connection with South Africa. Because I know there's a lot more than we know.
That's a very long connection. So, in a nutshell, I came first to South Africa to study in 1990. So I come from the UK. So our parents came in the 60s. They left. They passed away. They couldn't speak English. Yes, no was the most that they could say. I came to South Africa in the 90s. Our parents were driving Datsuns, Crawlers, and there used to be 35 in one car. I came to South Africa and I saw people driving Mercedes, BMWs in 1990. I thought, subhanallah.
Did you see the ulama in Camrys?
Huh?
The ulama were they had Toyota Camrys.
The ulama are still the same. but I was shocked. So a couple of years ago, I came with my family. My family said South Africa was the best holiday they've ever had. And they've been to many places. So my children met aunties, 80, 90 years old, Yaku Mehter. And they were shocked that they could speak English properly. Because nobody in English at that age speaks properly. They still got the India, Pakistan accent. So subhanallah, things have changed now, mashallah, in the UK. We no longer drive Crawlers. We no longer drive Datsun. But that's my connection. I've always had a deep connection with South Africa. I know many of you want to leave South Africa. Anybody want to sell their house cheap? Let me know.
But Sheikh, I can tell you one quick thing. You said that South Africa is the best holiday. The South Africans agree that when they go on holiday to Cape Town, South Africa is the best holiday, but theirs is not holiday. When it comes to the rest of South Africa, they have to stay here. So it's different to be on holiday and to be here, living here. Am I right? There you go.
Yeah, but I love South Africa. I have a school near PE. Wallahi, there's no exaggeration with this. I was leaving. My wife goes to me, you go South Africa so often. You sure you haven't got a second wife there? Wallah. I go, no, don't worry. You're safe, alhamdulillah. Nobody wants to marry me anyway.
Habibi, when someone says, listen, I'm an expert, bro. When someone says, listen, I'll tell you something.
Expert on what?
Wait, let me explain.
Expert on what?
Did you hear his answer? Did you hear his answer? He said, I told my wife, don't worry, you're safe. He didn't say no. Next time you must say, no, my darling, it's not true. I don't have another wife. Be clear. It's called nas sarih. And you came out loud and clear. Don't say, no, don't worry, you're safe.
Please, this has been broadcast live. I have to go back home as well. Please.
Okay, sorry. By the way, Shaykh Zahir has one wife. Jazakallah khair. Allahu Akbar. MashaAllah.
One wife in the UK.
Sheikh, don't start with him. Sheikh, don't start with him. No, mashallah. You know, the reason why I'm asking my colleagues about South Africa is simply because I want the people of South Africa to appreciate what they have. That's the main reason.
Wallahi, you should.
So that's why I asked him about Qurtuba, I asked him about South Africa, I asked him your relation with South Africa, because wallahi, I believe that many of us will die complaining. If you want to complain, complain to Allah. Tell Allah. But don't complain, because psychologically, when you start complaining, you become a nag and your life becomes depressing because you're just complaining. But when you look at the positives and you look at them and you start thinking to yourself, alhamdulillah, we are blessed. Wallahi, you begin to feel the blessings. I want to tell you something. People look at me and they say, Sheikh, how come you look so positive and so energized? You know the true answer. We fly, myself, Dr. Salah, mostly we are together in many countries. We fly to Hong Kong, like that's far away, you know. And when you land, a few hours later, you're in Jumu'ah and you're smiling and you've got a beautiful, smile. You have to greet the people. And they say, how do you do it? I say, what I'm about to say might sound bad, but for attitude, for this type of attitude, it's the right thing. Can I say it? You have to fake it till you make it. I have to come up and smile. Assalamu alaikum. Because if I say Assalamu alaikum, I'm already tired. You are going to be tired looking at me. What's the point? I'd rather just open my, Assalamu alaikum, how are you, my brother? Lovely to see you. I start feeling good. Before I know it, everything is already positive. The program is over. Now I can sink in bed and say, oh, that was a tough day. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah. So the point is, don't be a nag. Be positive. Even if you have to fake it a little bit. But be positive, inshallah. And you find the positivity coming your way by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Shaykhna, how many years have you been involved in shrouding people?
SubhanAllah, look, at the age of 17 years old, when I first got my license in Australia, at 17 you get your P plates, so you can drive on your own. There was a job offered to collect dead bodies from the morgues, and I put my hand up, not because I wanted to collect dead bodies, but because I wanted money. And and the job required 2 people to carry the bodies. I used to go on my own because I was greedy. I wanted all the money for myself. And
that's why you started building your body. You could carry it on your own.
Well,
makes sense.
Aussie
Mammoth, Undertaker.
I started bodybuilding then. And it was expensive to eat eggs and a lot of food when there's 9 kids in the family. So, Allah yarhamu, my dad wasn't fond of me overeating. So I would make my own money to buy extra, protein and all this stuff. And wallah, picking up dead bodies from morgues. Morgues aren't in the entry of a hospital. The front of the hospital has flowers and pretty when you come into a hospital. Morgues are in the worst parts of a hospital. Usually near the dumpsters, usually in the back where the garbage is, in dark places. So when I used to go there to pick up a dead body, I used to think to myself, I would look at the address, and this guy lives in a very expensive area. Look where he is now. And at 17, I would ponder a lot, and I would think to myself, this guy was just alive. I've just dropped him off at the funeral parlor at 1 a.m. Where is he now? And I would look at that lifeless body, and I would say to myself, subhanAllah, what's he seeing now? And this was at 17. And fast forward 2 years later, I became a grave digger. And for 17 years, I dug graves. And I would actually do the whole job where I would dig the grave, I would build the grave down the bottom, and I would bury the deceased. And 25 years ago, Ramadan was in the heat like it is now for us, 8:30 p.m, summer. So I would call my wife, because I was married at 18, she would hand me the bricks 2 meters deep to lay, and until I go back home, cook for the kids. Because I wanted to make money on my own, because, when you're young, you want to get ahead. And Shaykh, I always say this to everybody, wallah, this life is short. The first 20 years of your life, you're discovering yourself. The next 20, you're establishing yourself, family, career. Then the next 20, it's downhill. It's sicknesses, it's all that kind of stuff. It's not a long life. I think 25,725 days is a 65-year lifespan. That's not a lot of days on this earth, subhanAllah.
Jazakallah khair, Jazakallah khair. Barakallah fikum. Dr. Muhammad, if you were to give us a piece of advice for those who are intending to go for Hajj and they have to wait for years on end, because in South Africa, what's happened, the quota system has brought about the inability of everyone who wants to go to be able to go instantly. Sometimes they wait for 2 years, 3 years. In that impatience, people get frustrated, people start. What advice can you give us?
Well, Hajj is only by invitation. If you're invited, you're going to make it even in a very mysterious way. Some people just a few days before Hajj, they never thought about it. They never expected it. They were in dinner with some people and said, would you like to go for Hajj? Yeah, but I cannot afford it. Never mind, don't worry about it. Just give me your passport. I don't even have a passport for me. Can you get it in 24 hours? Sure. They get the visa, they get the tickets, and they travel. Why? Because they have been invited. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, in a hadith which is perceived as a sacred hadith, وَحَقٌّ عَلَى الْمَزُورِ أَن يُكْرِمَ زَائِرَهُ الْحُجَاجُ وَالْعُمَّارُ ضَيْفُ اللَّهِ زُوَّارُ اللَّهِ وَحَقٌّ عَلَى الْمَزُورِ أَن يُكْرِمَ زَائِرَهُ. The pilgrims and those who go to perform Umrah are Allah's guests. He has invited them. And it is the duty of the host to honor and give the proper hospitality to his guests. Imagine being Allah's guest. If your name is in the list, you're going to make it. And if your name is not in the list, I have seen people who got the blue passport. They got a lot of money. And they were able to book the tickets and get a room by themselves. Haram view, Kaaba view, first class traveling. And then when they arrived to Turkey, they said, sorry, they closed the borders for Hajj visas. I didn't know that. I'm willing to take a private plane. They can afford it. Sorry. On a Hajj visa, you can do it. They tried every possible way. Even though they paid 3 times the price of an executive Hajj, but they were not able to make it. Why not? They haven't been invited. Another person actually used to meet me in Houston, Texas, and this time he wouldn't ask me, saying, Shaykh, pray for me to go for Hajj. No, he would ask me, Shaykh, pray for me that I actually do Hajj. Why? He went for Hajj 3 consecutive times. He arrives to Mecca, and a day before Arafah, something happens to him, they have to fly him back to the States for a treatment. Once his eye, once whatever. So when he met me and he cried and said, just ask Allah to make it easy for me to do it. So maybe are in. And I don't want to take much of your time, but wallahi, every time I come from the States, I go for Hajj. Sometimes I speak to the cab drivers, I chat with them. So one person, Saudi, 22 years old, I said, MashaAllah, lucky you. He said, why? I said, because, where were you born? He said, born and raised in Mecca. I'm from Saudi. He said, you must have done so many Hajj. He said, wallahi, I haven't done any Hajj. You must have done like hundreds of Umrahs. He said, not that either. He said, why not? He said, because, I actually never saw the Kaaba by my eyes. My father never asked me to enter the Haram. So maybe you're born and raised in Mecca, but you're not invited. You're not going to make it. And maybe you accepted Islam a couple days ago, and your name is on the list, you're going to make it. May Allah make it easy for all of us to visit His house and to accept our Hajj and Umrah.
Shaykh Zahir, as we don't have too much time because we have to adjourn for Salatul Maghrib, I have one very, very important question relating to our brothers and sisters in Gaza. Every day we eat and we drink, and we go to work or we come, whatever. Sometimes, because of what's going on in Gaza, we feel the guilt. Or, you have food laid out, and so how do we strike the balance between the luxury, in inverted commas, that we seem to be having while our brothers and sisters are struggling? I mean, some people say, you should switch it off completely. You shouldn't, you should also, practice restraint or whatever. What advice can you give us for that?
Yes, that is a very difficult
and
one.
showing it on social media, perhaps.
For us, in all honesty, who speak about Gaza regularly, but we are, we are the people who actually perpetrate and violate these. Normally we go home, we have a good meal, and then we might see something. But I think I want to do something practical, and that is boycott. The minimum that you should be able to do is boycott some major things. You don't have to boycott the whole list. So Ismail Patel from Friends of Al-Aqsa, he says, if you can boycott the whole list, fine, but boycott 4 or 5 of the main ones. Now, one of the things I find very interesting in South Africa is that you know the impact of boycott. You know what boycott did to the apartheid system. In the UK, you can't go, many places will no longer sell Coke. 0. And if they do have Coke, they will have multiple substitute. In South Africa, I find nothing besides Coke in Muslim areas, etc. So what I would do is don't necessarily boycott the whole entire list, because what happens after the ceasefire, you'll revert back to all of them. Boycott 5 or 6 of the major ones. You damage 5 or 6 of the major ones, the rest will fall in line. You damage Coke, the rest will fall in line. They'll see the power. So I think the little that we can do, we have different capacities. Mufti has a particular capacity, Shaykh has Aussie has a different capacity. The little that we can do, we should do. Why? Because on the Day of Judgment, we can say, ma'adhiratun ila rabbikum. Allah, we did what we could do. Allah, we did what we could do. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all.
Barakallah feekum. We really have to adjourn for Salah. We have to end actually the event and the program. And I just want to hand over back to Brother Hisham, inshallah, because Salatul Maghrib is such that we can't really delay it beyond a certain point. It was lovely to have you guys. I just want to say, light upon light, I really want to congratulate everyone who made this possible. Qurtuba as well. Wallahi, it brings so much of joy to see such an event here in South Africa. And alhamdulillah, I'm so thankful to Allah that I was a part of it. And inshallah, I pray that Allah accept it from us.
Please like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel.